We had an excellent race last week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we stay in the state of North Carolina for our next event and come to a track that we all know and love here on the channel. We don't get to see it much in real life, but we have seen it quite a bit here. The Truck Series has come here in every single season that we have run here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. This is the Cheerwine 200 here in Rockingham, North Carolina at the Rockingham Speedway, the 8th race of the season in the 2023 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the Rockingham Speedway. We are here for the 8th race of the season and excited to see how this race plays out. Definitely a fun track, a fast-paced track here, but a track where tire wear comes into effect almost more than any other place. Here in Darlington, the two worst tracks for the tire wear. These guys are going to be falling off by a couple of seconds each lap near the end of the run. We got about a 32-lap fuel run here today. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how it all plays out. Driven alongside Echo Evans Ross for the call of tonight's, or today's event, I should say. We are here during the day. We're recording it at night. That's usually how it goes. And Echo, your team's done an excellent job. You got the win with Troxel at Texas, and they're up there in the points, but you guys start deep in the field, 26th and 27th. This is a track where you can work your way from the back to the front, especially if you have a good vehicle. What do you guys need to do to work your way up front here in this Cheerwine 200?
Well, I know one of us is starting on the inside line, but the other thing is, as much as you can take care of the tires, you also need to take care of that strategy, because the strategy, when you pit for those fresh tires, usually they'll come in a little bit before the fuel window ends, so I think that will be a very, very important to watch. How will the fuel window and the tire windows play out?
Of course, we have seen drivers get massive leads after cycles of pit stops by coming in a couple laps early. However, the tire wear does come into effect later on in the run. The only thing is that last run is under 20 laps, so once we get to the end of the race, if this race stays green, we're not really going to be at a point where the tire wear is as significant as it will be around lap 30, so keep that in mind. A lot of strategies that come into play, and hey, we may end up with a caution, and that could mess things up. That's how Troxel got the win at Texas. We had that caution early on in the race, right when the fuel window went to the end of the event. Some drivers were able to make it on fuel, others were not. And we saw a fuel mileage race at the end there at Texas. Hopefully we don't see any more of those. I don't like to see them too often, but I know you guys enjoyed that one a couple weeks ago. And I know that Ludovic Charette enjoyed his win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway last week. He is now our points leader, 26 ahead of two-time winner Bruno Giacomo. Then it's Thomas Troxel, 34 points behind our pole sitter, Nathan Stapleton. As a matter of fact, Nathan Stapleton and Aaron Abel tied for the pole, but Stapleton ahead in points. He's 44 behind, and Joe Rutkowski, champion from a couple years ago, 46 points behind coming into this, the 8th race of the season here in the Cheerwine 200. We mentioned Nathan Stapleton. He's starting on the pole in the number 61. Alongside him, it's Aaron Abel for Jacoan Racing Enterprises. Agar Barretto, Drew Webb, his team, they qualify well. We'll have to see if they can make it. Barretto ended up having that tire issue at Charlotte last week. It's just one issue after another for this team. We'll have to see if they can possibly get a race victory. They're in a good position to do so. Andrew Williams to the outside of him right there. Got Sebastian Kukulon, who I believe won this race last year. Defending champion of the Truck Series. He's to the inside there of Brian Webb, the other Webb racing machine. Great qualifying effort for Rogel Dorn. It's not been a good season for Giacomo's teammate, but he starts in the 7th position alongside Ludovic Charette. Then Derek Hamill and Josh Williamson round out the top 10 starting positions here from the Rockingham Speedway. We'll go ahead and get these drivers to roll off. Make sure everyone does, in fact, roll off here. There's Trey Bartow, who has won here before, I think. Yes. Yeah, I know he's won here before. I don't know if Kukulon won here last year. I'm getting that and Charlotte confused. Either way, you'll see the past race winners there on your screen. That's what you should be looking at. I don't look at that before I record the race. But Echo, I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to get this year's race victory in the Cheerwine 200?
It's so hard to pick. There's a lot of drivers that are very fast and able to do it. I think I'm going to pick one of those web cars. I don't know which one, but it's going to be one of them.
We'll see if their bad luck goes away here today the day after Friday the 13th. Maybe it's a good thing we're not doing this race yesterday. Pace truck's down. Here we go. We're green flag racing at the Rock. The green flag is out here in the Cheerwine 200. We're underway in the Truck Series at Rockingham.
Outside lane, as expected, did not get a very good start.
Whoa, and Williamson off the exit there of turn 2. That's always a bit of a trouble spot, but they get through it on the first lap, which is good, but still 3 wide there with Juan Rodriguez, Williamson, Ludovic Charette, our points leader, falling back in the 14 there. The lap 1, bonus point towards the championship for Nathan Stapleton. Igor Barreto there, running second. Sebastian Kukal and Rogaldor in that inside lane with the advantage early on. Here comes Barreto. Peeking, Charette's going to tap the outside wall. Not a good start for our points leader here at Rockingham.
No, not at all. 93 just ducked to the apron. I guess that's probably an evasive maneuver of the 14. They're getting the wall big time, a lot off both corners.
And Charette dropping like a rock. No pun intended. Started in the 8th position, and now he's almost outside the top 30 in that 14 machine. And this is kind of what we saw last week at Charlotte. As, ooh, that was tight right there. Almost 4 wide. Eric Monaco, Chris Reynolds there. There's Diacomo in the 82. That time around, 12th for the 82 machine. He might be in a position to retake the points lead. Just like I said, it's what we had last week at Charlotte. Diacomo started and finished in the 28th position, and Ludovic won the race, pulled away in the points. Diacomo might have a shot at taking it back away, but Stapleton, 44 points behind coming into this race, still very much in this championship battle, and he's led every lap so far here in this Cheerwine 200. But Igor Barreto, I know he is hungry for a race win, especially after what happened to him last week and what has happened to him this entire season. He's going to have a shot right here down Thunder Alley.
There you go. Yeah, Barreto, who was hounding the 61 pretty much the entire time, this entire race. Can't get to the bottom, though, in the corner there. 61's going to lead still.
Good run, though, for Barreto, and I know he's just holding his breath. Good run for Rogaldorn as well. Rogel, 30th in points coming into this race. And compared that to his teammate of Bruno Diacomo, a bit of a surprise. And it's a bit of a surprise considering what Rogel did in the Cup Series this past year with a car that was nowhere near where it should have been. But Rogel, definitely a solid driver, finding a good rhythm here today, and he's up to the 3rd position. I mean, Barreto's just all over the back bumper of Stapleton right here for this race lead. It's only a matter of time, but it does take a while, especially when the tires are nice and fresh for these guys to wind up a pass here at the Rockingham Speedway.
He's been looking for a couple laps now, but Stapleton's been good at just covering the bottom, not giving him any space to go down there. That's the thing as well, is that even though it's not really that hard to make a pass once you get there, what you need to do is cover the lane before they can get underneath you. All
4 of these guys on each other. Rogaldorn gonna take second here. As Barreto gets jammed up a little bit behind that 61 machine, and Barreto's gonna lose 2 positions. May lose a 3rd one to Andrew Williams. Kukal with a great run here in this race. It's not been a good season for our defending champion. 20th in points. Not quite the season that he had last year, at least. There's Andrew Williams to the inside for 4th, and Fitzwater on Derek Hamill there for the 6th position. Good run for Fitzy here in this race, and Juan Rodriguez, his teammate there, also in the top 10. You got Brian Webb in the 9th position, and John Andrews rounds out the top 10 in the 49. Meanwhile, our points leader, Ludovic Charette, trying to rebound. Not really going on, as we have had an accident on the track, apparently.
I guess it must have been involved in 9 and the 1.
No caution. Shane Lake is down the pit lane. Micah Knapp is already a lap down, and Blaine Keys is out of the race as, look at our defending champion.
Big run.
Looking to the inside for the race lead, unable to get it. Very interesting moment right there, with a wreck occurring and no caution coming out for the incident. Either way, Rogaldorn there is 3rd. Kukal might have a shot at the lead right here. How about this driver? Has not been a good run this year at all for Kukal. Oh, but he's going to lose 2nd as Rogaldorn gets back to the inside.
They keep fighting for 2nd, and that's just letting the 61 continue to lead. I don't think he has the fastest truck at all, but he's being able to hold it because they're either just battling each other for second or just taking too long to set up the pass.
And how about Rogaldorn in this 4 machine now to the second position? Going to move Kukulon out of the way. Agar Breto's back up to third. Watch out for Fitzwater in the 54. I know he is hungry for a win behind the wheel of a stock car, stock truck in this case. Didn't even get a top 10 in the Wall Cup Series last year. Barreto back for second on Rogaldorn here, and just as you said, Echo, they keep on swapping positions for second. They can't get around the 61, but here's the thing. They're not losing ground to the 61, and I think you're right about that 61 not being the fastest truck out here because he's not pulling away from anybody, even while they pass for that second position.
He hasn't been pulling away, but I think the thing is that still fighting for second like they have been is not really helping them pass him.
Barreto's going to try the outside.
The outside.
Not really the place you want to be in 3 and 4 specifically. And Rogaldorn's going to get back around for second. And that 61's done an excellent job hugging that yellow line in the corner and not allowing these guys to get a run to the inside. But I don't know. I feel like it's a matter of time before somebody gets around him here. I mean, look at all these guys. They're just all on the 61. Nobody pulling away here in this race. Laura Chung in the top 10. Great run for there. Trey Bartow, who's won here twice before, is 11th. And then you got the 44 Philip Torres in the 12th position. There's Andrew Miller, who almost won last week at Charlotte. And that caution came out and gave Ludovic Charette a chance. Josh Williamson, Eric Monaco, Nicholas Samadio, our points leader, I said he's not our points leader anymore. That's still Ludovic. Our former points leader, Bruno Diacomo, is 17th right now. There's Logan Williams and Thomas Troxel. They've moved up a little bit there for your team. 18th and 19th, and then you got John Andrews, who fell back there. Nathan Orman had a solid run, finished third at Charlotte last week. He's up in the top 20, or about to reach the top 20. There's Berto Crown Jr., Joe Radkowski, Chris Reynolds, Caleb Rose, Noah Clifton, Aaron Abel, Sam Manaskin, Eric Drew, Avery Alford, Ludovic Charette, Casey Anico, and Ethan Lewis. Those are the drivers still on the lead lap. Mike Knapp's a lap down, Shane Lake is 3 laps down, and Blaine Keys is out of the race. And Rogel keeps on trying here on Stapleton. Oh, he might have it here. If he can peek down to the inside, which he's not going to do so. Thought he had a shot right there, but nothing going for him quite yet.
On him. The one thing I'm also noticing is you can tell the tires are just completely worn out now. They're running like so much slower than they were just like 10 laps ago in the corners. Just look at those corner entry speeds. They're so different than what they were just a little bit ago.
Oh, here we go. That's
what this track does.
Not going to be enough there for Rogel. Good
I think
run.
Dorn is close enough.
For Stapleton. And this track, like I mentioned at the top of the show, one of the most worn out surfaces that we have. It may not quite look like that on the screen, but let me tell you, they fall off about 2 seconds. So what makes this place so fascinating and interesting to come to, especially in the Cup Series. Looking forward to that race. Be in March this year. Do you believe the end of March we'll have the Cheerwine 400 for the Wall Cup Series? Always a classic race there. A classic race here for the trucks. Like I mentioned, we've gone here in every single season of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Not many tracks can say that, but we've done it here in the trucks. And get some great racing here. Barreto trying to find a way around the 4. Fitzwater up to 4th. And then you have the 52 there of Andrew Williams inside the top 5. Brian Webb, Derek Campbell, Kukulon falling back a little bit. Philip Torres in the top 10 now there for Millennium Motorsports.
I think Dorn has fallen off a little bit because they're starting to lose touch with. They were starting to lose touch with the 61 a little bit, but I guess they're coming back now. As I say that,
We've got a good run going for him here. It was a bad entry there for Rogel going into one of those corners, and Stapleton got a good run, and now Rogel right back to the back bumper of Stapleton. Stapleton's about to clinch the most laps led, though, which is surprising considering how close these guys have been to that back bumper of that 61. We'll see if Rogel gets a good exit here and has a shot to the inside. This might be it for him. We'll have to see.
it's looked a lot better to go through a 4-1, but nope, he went to the outside that time.
Just can't get that outside lane to work, especially once these tires wear out, I feel like. But here's the deal. As long as all these guys stay on each other going into the cycle of pit stops, they're all going to have a great opportunity of winning this race. And just comes down to the pit stop. The thing is, you don't want anyone to jump ahead of you, because you're going to gain a lot of ground being out an extra lap compared to everybody else. Barretto back for second. You know, knock on wood, it's been a great run for Barretto in this race. The only downside is he currently sits quite deep in the points, 34th in the championship standings. Brian Webb is 35th. The worst team of the season, 7 races in, is Drew Webb and Igor Barretto. Who would have thought that after what we saw in the Wall Cup Series this summer? But hey, they're trying to rebound. They've run strong, and they're both in the top 10 here. But so many issues for this team.
Haven't had their obligatory mech fail yet.
Not yet. We're only halfway. So I know that Drew, Igor, and Brian all holding their breath right now, hoping they make it to the end. Maybe get a double top 10 for the first time this season. Well, Stapleton will clinch the most laps led here in this one. 25 for the 61. Actually, will clinch it next time around. My apologies there. So someone could tie him, essentially.
Well, no, he did. He did. Well, yeah, he did clinch most laps led, but I think they would still get the full. You would still get the bonus points. Even
yeah, you still get a bonus point. If it's a tie, they both get the bonus point. Not going to be a case there, because he will lead lap 26, and he has officially led the most laps here in the Cheerwine 200. But will he win the race? That's the big question. Barretto right there, Rogaldor, and they are all over the back bumper of the 61. They just have not found a way around them, and you can tell these tires they're giving out here, and we're going to be coming down the pit lane here in just a couple laps.
Oh yeah, they're going to pit very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw somebody come in now, but I think we'll see them wait a little bit just to come in just to get that fuel.
I will say these guys have not been too aggressive in trying to peek down to the inside to make these passes here today, and we've seen these guys kind of overshoot, go outside. Kukulon. Oh, that's interesting. And he's only 1 lap down, would lead me to believe that that was a scheduled stop for the 27. A bit early compared to everybody else right there. But
a bit early.
You know, falling back a little bit, try something new. Maybe we'll see Kukulon move up to the front.
Even if it wasn't a scheduled stop, that's still timed pretty well if this goes green at the end.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. I think Igor might have it this time. And nope, Stapleton got a good run on the outside. And
just charged the
not
corner
quite yet.
A little bit better than the 13 did.
No one's coming down. At least in our front runners at this point. Not surprised. You know, Ludovic Charette ended up getting that race victory last week at Charlotte. Has struggled mightily here at Rockingham. And I think that goes to show that the ratings are still not fully fleshed out yet. And it'll take a while before they really do, and that's going to make this championship very interesting because, oh, there we go.
There we go.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Of course we miss it. Of course we miss it. Barretto takes the lead here. Rockingham gets a bonus point right there towards the championship. You can tell these guys are struggling going into the corners. I mean, they're almost losing it going in to these corners the way these tires are worn out. But Igor Barretto out front here at Rockingham before the cycle of pit stops. You saw that pass in the corner of your screen. And now he's going to come down the pit lane.
I think they're coming in.
Rogel's going to stay out. I don't know about that call, but Barretto and Stapleton are down. Did anyone else come down that last time? Juan Rodriguez and Roberto Crown Jr.
A few trucks are staying out here.
Rogel's going to get a bonus point. So we're going to follow with Barretto and Stapleton. I think the race might be between these two drivers right here because I don't think Rogel's going to catch up with these guys. And it's possible he might have a bit of an advantage near the end of this race. But Barretto and Stapleton, they're going to come down right now. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for both of these drivers. No doubt about it. And we'll have to see if that is in fact the case. Andrew Williams is also up there as well, so watch out for the 52.
What you gain from staying out long, you lose a lot. So you have to be sure you can make that up.
Mm-hmm.
Which, with the run that we're going to have to the end, is probably going to be very tight.
Barretto's going to win the race off right there, but how about Sebastian Kukulon? Remember what he did. He came down significantly earlier than these guys, and I think he is cycling to the race lead. It was shown that he was a lap down last time. We'll see if that is still, in fact, the case, because I don't think it is. It is not. Kukulon has jumped Barretto. What a call out of Stover Motorsports, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but the problem is that 13 is going to have fresher tires the whole way through this run, and fresher tires at a place like this, it means more than anything. And I would imagine the Beretta's going to close in here.
13 has, what, 6 laps on the 27, I think?
At least.
That's, like, almost a death knell, especially with the fact he's literally only less than a second back. I don't think this 27's winning this race, but this could bring them up in position further up than where they would have finished without that call, or whatever sent them to pit road.
Oh, and we had something go on
accident.
there. Sam and Ozkin
94.
around, and the caution's out.
Okay.
So that changes everything. Thankfully, everyone had cycled through, so no one's going to get caught a lap down. Now what do you do? Now what do you do if you're Kukul on here? Because these guys, they just came down the pit lane. No one needs to come down here. But, I don't know. I don't know. If Kukulon comes down, gets those fresh tires, he's going to have an advantage here. I don't know if we're going to see that. I think everyone's going to stay in their respective position because they know they can make it on fuel. It looks like that will, in fact, be the case. So that actually was not a good thing for Kukulon because now Beretta's going to be right behind him here. That's good news, though. Now after the 27,
you're hoping that you can do what Stapleton was doing basically the entire first run.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be even more difficult when you have effectively 12 lap older tires.
The good news
I believe this is 2X.
This is going to greatly benefit the 4 machine of Rogaldorn, and that's actually 3X here.
Yes.
But keep in mind, I mess with the INIs, so what might be standard if you just download this track off of the website may not necessarily be what we're doing here today.
So it's effectively 18 laps, not 12.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be interesting. That tire wear is gonna come pretty quick. Which may benefit Rogaldorn because he came down a lap later than all these guys. Lost a couple of positions, but he's going to regain all that time. So that's going to be fascinating there with him. Well, a lot has happened in this race. A good break to catch our breath here and then figure out who's going to get this race victory in the Cheerwine 200. Sebastian Kukulon leads it. But first, let's see what happened to Sam and Ozkin to bring out the first caution of the day here, the Rockingham Speedway. Well, here we go, coming off the pit lane. Thankfully, the cycle had ended, essentially. Sam and Ozkin didn't merge correctly, or, yeah, came up on Avery Alford right there. And poor Ethan Lewis had nowhere to go either, sending him into the outside wall. But Ozkin and Alford up there as well, and mild accident, but it's enough to give us a restart late in the going here in this Cheerwine 200, just like it was last week. And late race restarts, especially after a long green flag run, are quite entertaining. I think we will anticipate an entertaining finish to this race. Let's replay this in real time.
Ozkin coming out of the pit lane. Those two go side by side. He's not aware. Pulls up. Alfred and Lewis, nothing they could do. Just bad timing. Bad awareness, really.
I don't know if that's going to work out for Kukulon, who, by the way, and we'll mention this as well, had a tire go down past halfway, which is why he came down the pit lane, but because he came down so early, gained the lead. But with Igor Barretto with 6-lap fresher tires, 13 might be hungry to take this race lead rather quick. Let's see what happens on the restart here in the Cheerwine 212 laps to go at the Rock. We're back here at the Rockingham Speedway, about to go back to racing. My goodness. Poor Rogel can't catch a break. And right behind him, Josh Williamson has blown up in the 72. It's a tire issue on Rogaldorn, so it's not all lost. It is the same tire, right front tire, that caused Sebastian Kukul on the pit early, and now he's leading this race. And that tire failure for him happened at the perfect time because he can make it to the end. The only downside is his tires are more worn than all these guys behind him. Going to be interesting to see if he can hold these guys off. Igor Barretto is second. Sam and Ozkin, obviously caught up in that accident, is a lap down. We got Nathan Stapleton in third, Andrew Williams, and now Philip Torres in the top 5. Rogel coming off here. Fresh tires. Just have to see if he can work his way through the field, but a tough break for Rogel. He had a good run going for him. Doesn't look like it's going to hold on here at Rockingham. Let's see what Kukulon can do. Our defending Turkey Hill Truck Series champion, looking to get his first win of the season. Pace truck's down. Here we go. It's 12 laps to go in the Cheerwine 200.
I'll be really curious to see what Rogel Dorn does, because they have a lot fresher tires now, but they have to come through the entire field now.
Igor Beretta's going to be all over the back bumper of this 27. We saw one pass from him earlier. We're going to see another one right here. To the inside for the race lead with 11 to go, and Kukulon's going to slip back. But now, Nathan Stapleton, Andrew Williams, Philip Torres, they're not too far off that 13 machine. They could have an opportunity at possibly closing in. It's 11 laps to go here in this Cheerwine 200. Just like I said, I'm interested to see what Rogel does, but I don't think he's going to have much of an opportunity to work through the field. But Stapleton may have a shot at this win after all. A good run through the corner, and he's closing back in on this number 13.
Yeah, Dorn's got, 10 laps now to try and make it up, so I don't know. I don't think we'll see Dorn make it all the way up, yeah.
He got one there, but he's not making enough time to have an opportunity.
He's not making nearly enough ground up to get up to the front here.
Stapleton is. Lost a little bit of ground there through the corner. He got all the way up to the back bumper of Igor Barreto. Hey, Barreto has not won a race as a driver in quite a while. He's won multiple races as an owner, but not as a driver in quite some time. And I know Drew Webb would love to get one as an owner. It'd be his first win as an owner. And considering what this team has gone through, with all their mechanical issues and everything, if they can pull off this race victory and also have Brian Webb finish in the top 5, that would be awesome for him. But I don't know if Nathan Stapleton's going to allow that to happen. Been a while for both of these guys since they've gone the victory lane. Neither driver has won a race this season. Philip Torres going to take third from the 52 of Andrew Williams. Watch out for the 44. Barreto holds on for the time being.
Yeah, the 44 is really, really fast. I think the 44 could be
here we go.
A dark horse here. Here comes Stapleton, though.
And Nathan Stapleton going to repay the favor on Barreto right there. They're side by side. This is going to bring Philip Torres right in here. Oh, we got ourselves a race here. Laura Chung closing in the 5. Watch out for her. Watch out for Brian Webb now. Barreto's going to lose 3 spots as he gets stuck on the outside. And Torres is all over the back bumper of Stapleton. We got ourselves a good one here in the Cheerwine 200.
See what Torres can do with Stapleton. Again, Stapleton kind of just proved they were basically the Ministry of Defense back on that first run. See what these guys can do trying to get around the 61.
Oh, Brian Webb's going to have a shot on Torres. That's good news for Stapleton. But as we saw in that early run, even with all those guys battling for second, hey, we're going to go 3 wide for third. Andrew Williams wasting no time right there. And watch out, we got a lap car in the way. That's Shane Lake. Torres in the outside wall. Brian Webb trying to sniff a draft on Shane Lake. Now he's on the back bumper of Stapleton. And then you got Williams. And where did he come from? Andrew Miller up to 4th. Oh boy, and Chung's in the outside wall. She's falling back in the 5. We got 4 to go. We got a pass for the race lead. Brian Webb to the inside. Brian Webb went through the entire Cup Series season without a race victory. Had a solid year. Looking to get his first win in quite some time, if ever, on the channel. I don't know if he's ever won before. He's going to make it stick there on Stapleton. And now Andrew Miller looking on his teammate Andrew Williams. We're 3 to go here in the Cheerwine 200. That 99 starting to pull away.
And Webb's really starting to pull away now. I think these guys could reel him down like we saw them do earlier, but they're gonna have to really flat-foot it right now.
That 99. Oh, and the caution's out again. Guess what?
That's gonna be the race.
That does it. Brian Webb in the 99 holds on. Who went around there? Looks like possibly Rogel Dorn, Logan Williams, Ethan Lewis. What a race there at the end.
We know that this team does not have the greatest reliability. They got to make it back.
Brian Webb in the 99 for Webb Racing Enterprises. But he's not the owner. It's Drew Webb. Not related. But they came together. They joined forces here in the Truck Series. Of course, Brian Webb will return to this guy's team in the Cup Series next year. Andrew Williams and Team Williams over there. I'm sure this is a tough one for Andrew because, you know, that's his driver, his Cup driver. up front ahead of him, but I'm sure Andrew wanted to get this win. Meanwhile, did someone peel off there?
I think
No.
they're just getting
I think they
sorted
did.
back
So
out.
they were destroying out. There's a bit of a gap right there. Stapleton looks like he's going to finish 4th. Juan Rodriguez going to get a top 5. Where did he come from there? Igor Beretta's going to fall to 6th there. And then it's Laura Chung, Derek Campbell, Zachary Fitzwater, and Nicholas Samadillo going to get a top 10 here today. A good run for Renner Diacomo in 11th right there. He will not retain the points lead, though, as Ludovic Charette will finish 22nd. Not the best of runs for him, and Rogel going to finish in 27th after having a dominant run earlier on. I think the bad luck has finally subsided for Webb Racing Enterprises. They're going to finish 1st and 6th here today. 35th in points coming into this race, but he's going to get the race victory. Brian Webb wins the Cheerwine 200 here at Rockingham.
Good win.
Absolutely.
What a move he made at the end. He only led like the last, what, three or four laps? That's all you need to do here.
So many drivers
Great
had a
finish.
shot there at the end. That was all over the place there here at the Rock. Great race here
Shaman
at
had to end
Cheerwine
under
200.
caution, but Shaman had to end under caution, but still great racing at the end there.
No doubt about it. Well, we had a caution there at the end. Not entirely sure what happened there. We'll review it for you, don't worry. But first, the official standings. How about Ryan Durrani Incorporated? 2nd and 3rd right there with their 2 drivers of Andrew Williams and Andrew Miller. Nathan Stapleton. Another good run for Stapleton. I think Stapleton finished runner-up last week at Charlotte. You know, we're seeing Stapleton especially really run up front there with Triad Racing. You know, it just like with Igor Brito and Drew Webb, it's kind of a swap there because Travis Crampton's the owner of that team. Nathan Stapleton, the driver, is the other way around in the Cup Series, and they had a really solid run this past season, so interesting to see that combination. And Webb Racing Enterprises, they are so much better than their point standings suggest because it's been mechanical issue after mechanical issue. They have run up front in so many of these races. Good to see them finally pull it off. The Webbs with the race victories today, Brian with the driver win, and Drew with the owner win. Take a look at the rest of the results, and you saw it happen. The blank keys in the corner of your screen there. Josh Williamson blew an engine, blew a header more specifically. And then all those other guys with issues here today. A wacky race here at Rockingham, but a good one at that. And Echo, only one more race until halfway here in this championship race. Who do you think's the championship favorite as we close in on the last 10 races of the season?
Let's see. I like Troxel. I really like what Stapleton did today and last week. I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see if Stapleton could get something done, or Diacomo. Diacomo looked pretty good. But I also have to give a shout out to countryman Ludovic Charette, just because not a great run today, but they were still able to salvage 22nd, which after where they ran all race, I think that's a victory for them because it's not in the championship where you make up your ground isn't by your good finishes, it's what you can do with your bad finishes.
Absolutely, and he will retain the points lead, but Diacomo's going to close in by about 11 points there. So, and Stapleton's going to close in as well. Troxel's going to close in a bit there. Solid run for Troxel. I know your other driver, Logan Williams, nowhere to be found there in the... where is he?
He was involved in that.
Yeah, he was involved in that last accident. I do remember that. Let's review that last accident, shall we? See what happened, then we'll be back here for the finishing results of the Cheerwine 200. Well, this is what happened here. Sam and Oskin, who was involved in that first accident... They're trying to get around Shane Lake. That's why they're all bunched up. That 88 was off the pace. He ran into him up front earlier. Oskin tapped the outside wall. That's just the traditional spot for something to happen. Thankfully, nobody flipped. We see a lot of flips here at Rockingham, ironically. And Echo, I know you don't like seeing that right there. Logan Williams in the 39. It's been an odd season for Logan. I'm surprised he was as high in the points as he was coming into this race. A lot of issues for that 39 team, but some more here today. And then Ethan Lewis and Rogeldorn in the inside wall as well. Tough break for Rogel, who was running top 5 in this race. Had that tire go down, got sent to the back, and couldn't move up from there, and getting caught up in that accident.
Oskin just slides up into the wall. They're trying to get around the 88. Just gets into the 4. Sucks for Dorn, who ran top 5, but if they didn't have that tire issue, he wouldn't have been back there. So really just terrible luck for the 4 to get involved in that. And also, bad that my car got involved, but...
Hey, still a solid run for Troxel, though. Still a solid run for the 93.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you guys do in the Cup Series next year as well. I'm not sure who your drivers are going to be, but we'll just have to see. I think you guys are going to have a good year over there. You've had a solid year over here. Hey, but either way, Brian Webb gets the win here at Rockingham. Great to see Webb Racing Enterprises finally pull through and run to their full potential. Maybe they won't be last in the owners' points after today, but either way, we'll have to see how it all shakes out in the points. Show the results one more time for your reference, and that'll be it here from the Rockingham Speedway. Next race next week, we're at IRP. That's going to be a lot of fun there on the short track. It's going to be a short race next Friday night for the Lucas Oil 200, but excited to see who gets it done there on that 0.686 mile short track just outside the city of Indianapolis. It's going to be good to close out the first half of the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, congratulations to Brian Webb on his race victory. And on behalf of Echo Evans Ross, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys later.